Good afternoon and welcome to the City of Sacramento's webinar series, Resilience, Repurpose, and Recovery. Today's webinar is titled Navigating COVID-19 Workforce Response Services at Sacramento's Job Center. It is my pleasure at this time to turn the time over to City of Sacramento staff person, Christine Pallone, and she will introduce the program and our speakers today. This webinar is being recorded and will be on the city's website at cityofsacramento.org/biz-webinars. So at this time, Christina, if you go ahead and introduce the program.
Thank you, Darren. As you said, my name is Christina Pallone. I am the Workforce Development Manager for the Office of Innovation and Economic Development and today's moderator. Due to the devastating effects of the COVID-19 crisis, massive layoffs have occurred throughout our country, region, and city. More than ever, it is critical that local job seekers understand Sacramento's employment services and resources. Today's webinar is focused on providing viewers, in particular our displaced workers and unemployed job seekers, details on how to navigate workforce response services at Sacramento's job centers, both in person and remotely. We will hear directly from executives of the Sacramento Employment and Training Agency, Roy Kim and Terry Carpenter, and the SETA Job Center administrators, Greater Sacramento Urban League President and CEO, Cassandra Jennings, and La Familia Counseling Center Executive Director, Rachel Rios. Let's get started with today's webinar. We will hear from the SETA team, Roy Kim and Terry Carpenter first.
Had to unmute myself, sorry. Thank you, Christina, and welcome to everyone who's listening in today. A couple of things. First of all, I'll be brief as possible to allow some of my colleagues to, I know I have a limited amount of time, but there's some key points I want to emphasize. If I keep looking like this, it's because I have this screen I can actually see with behind my glasses, but that's not where the camera is, so forgive me. So first of all, I want to thank the city's economic development team, Christina, Darren, Lori, Abraham, and Denise. And if I missed anyone, I apologize for that. You can go to the next slide. So, previous slide. There we go. So if you're not familiar with the Sacramento Works Job Center system, we have 12 job centers that are scattered throughout Sacramento County. It's part of the broader America's Job Center of California network, which is also part of the nationwide network. I'm not going to go over a lot of specifics on the types of services. Let me just suffice it to say that the 12 job centers offer a comprehensive mix of employment and training services, which also includes support services and training services and lots of different informational workshops and other types of services. There are employers hiring right now, even during COVID. And so if job seekers are listening in, please contact us because there are jobs available right now. And the system serves about 25,000 customers a year. Back during the Great Recession, it was around 50,000 a year. And so it's likely going to be back in excess of 50,000 a year after COVID is over. One of the things you've heard a lot of on the news is, some of the issues with unemployment insurance applications. And just so you know, our job center network also can help customers, and we're helping customers navigate the UI application process. And if you need technical assistance or guidance in that, that's another resource we're available for. We do have financial support services available for some customers. There are eligibility requirements. I won't get into that on this in detail because they're all different and they're all over. They're all different for every single program that we operate. I want to emphasize that we do have a free online training portal. It's got over 5,000 online training courses and anyone can sign up. Any Sacramento County resident can sign up anywhere they have internet access and a mobile device. It's sacramentoworks.org is the website, and prominently listed on that website, the second major link is that online training portal. Next slide, please. So here's a list of job centers and contact information, and you'll be hearing from a couple specific centers after I'm done, but the main emphasis I would say is, if you're interested in work, or if you're interested in increasing your skills, or you need help in other things that are workforce related, please call us. We are answering the phones. We are open. Some centers are open to a greater degree than others. And my two colleagues that'll be talking after me, both of those centers are actually open for in-person services on some basis. I know a lot of people are getting additional unemployment related benefits, at least through the end of July. And I would just encourage any laid off or impacted employees who are, not to wait until those benefits expire. I think it's good to get ahead of the curve. If you wait, you'll probably be in a long line with a whole bunch of other people. And so the more you can do now and be proactive, the better. Next slide, please. So we also have a number of youth services. Terry Carpenter, who's kind of supporting me behind the scenes on this webinar, oversees our work services. And she's gonna be doing future webinars specific about WIOA youth services and other youth initiatives that SETA is involved with. So we can advance to the next slide. I just
Roy, could you explain what WIOA is?
Sure, WIOA is that's a good question. So we love our acronyms, and WIOA stands for the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, which funds programs for adults, dislocated workers, and youth, in addition to a number of other federal programs. So the purpose of this slide is to emphasize that that SETA operates a number of additional programs that are connected to the Job Center network. They're programs for veterans, programs for people with disabilities, programs for the reentry population or ex-offenders, also national dislocated worker programs and refugee programs. The one program I want to emphasize for listeners on this webinar, though, is the community services, or what I refer to as safety net programs. These are programs that provide emergency food, shelter, utility assistance, and other types of emergency services. There's a whole network of community service providers on SETA's website, which is seta.net. And it should pop up right there, the COVID splash page. If you have any, and that has phone numbers, and they're answering those phone numbers too. If you have any problems accessing it, there's plenty of other phone numbers on that same web page, and any of them should be able to guide customers to the services that they're looking for. So with that, I'll hold any further remarks so my other colleagues can speak. Hopefully I didn't take too long.
Thank you, Roy. And now let's hear from Ms. Jennings from the Greater Sacramento Urban League.
Thank you, Christina, and thank you to the city and to SETA for allowing me to participate in this activity today. I think, as you will see on the slide, the Greater Sacramento Urban League is open for business, as Roy mentioned. We are a full-service workforce development job center, and we've been serving this community for 52 years. We have 2 locations, one which is our main training center in Del Paso Heights, and then we have a satellite office in Oak Park. As you would see, we are open by phone. You can call us, we answer, we respond. You can also contact us by email, and we are open for in-person one-on-one activities by appointment only. And we're open every day, Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. If we can go to the next slide, please. And we have a number of services. You have seen some of them listed in the set of slides before. I just want to highlight some of the services that we're having right now based on COVID as we continue to serve our community is the unemployment application assistance. We get a lot of information, a lot of requests of how you navigate, and our job coaches and job developers are there to help. We're also available you have full access to our job center. It's a little limited now, but we are moving forward with the computer lab. We still have copiers, and we are adapting to this new environment to really service the community. Resume and interview preparation is still important. We are doing that through Zoom, through phones, and then again on one-on-one basis to really help people to prepare to navigate to the next. And you can see the other services. I do want to mention we do a number of job fairs, and we just had a diversity job fair earlier this season, which we all gathered. We are now pivoting to hiring events that will be through Zoom, and we will have our first one in 2 weeks where we will have employers there. We invite you to sign up for that, and then you'll be able to participate in hiring events with employers. Next slide, please. And then we also sort of value ourselves as a training center. And so we have a number of free skills training, and we have gone virtual for sure. So we now have our virtual digital literacy class that we used to do one-on-one in person in our, in groups in our computer lab. And right now we're gonna be doing them through a virtual platform. So we're starting that on Monday. Call us if you need it. And we think that these are opportunities as you may be in between jobs or you want to prepare for a better job, that this just sort of sharpens your skills. We do have a number of other things and another training programs that we can refer people to, and we're now working how we transition this to the virtual environment. We do lots of referrals, and you heard talk about some of the occupational skills and educational training programs. We sit down with individuals one-on-one, and then we do sessions to really help prepare you and prepare you for your specific journey. Next and last slide. And so we do, as probably comprehensive services, we have other services that we provide. We have housing counseling services. A lot of people who are out of work are now in forbearance, or we're doing loss mitigation. So people have their rent challenges. We are there. We have housing counseling services on site to really sort of complement our employment side, because unemployment or underemployed affects all aspects. So we really look, and then we have financial literacy classes and counseling. You heard mention the youth services. We didn't go on in them, but we work with youth services. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the community services. We have those services and support services to the clients. We also complement them with food distribution, with other supportive services that we are working with the community to make sure that we are able to address people. Our mission is really to help people become economic self-reliant, and this is through the opportunities we have. That's how we support them. So thank you.
Great, thank you, Ms. Jennings. And now let's hear from Ms. Rios from La Familia Counseling Center.
Great, thank you. Thank you, everyone. La Familia has been a SETA partner for many years as well. We've been serving the community for over 47 years. And our mission really is to improve the quality of life by offering a variety of programs so that we can help people succeed. We do that by having 2 sites. And if you can go to the next slide, we have 2 sites to serve the community. We have our main site, and then about 5 years ago, we opened up our second site, which we repurposed a closed elementary school called the Maple Neighborhood Center. And there, with our partners, including training partners and educational partners, we offer a variety of services for programs. Our computer lab and our America's Job Center is located at our main site, but we do have a second one at our Maple Center as well. Right now, during these COVID dates, we are open. Our agency is open from 9 to 6:30, but we only have public hours from 9 to 3. We do accept walk-ins. However, we prefer that folks make appointments because we are following the social distancing, and we would hate to turn someone away if we don't have enough space for them in the computer lab. So we do encourage you to call one of our coaches and make an appointment, and that way we can be sure that we have the staffing available to provide you the services. We can go to the next. So as Cassandra and Roy have indicated, most of the career centers offer the same basic services. We all provide different services. We have computer labs. We do resume writing, interview techniques, typing tests, job readiness. We are one of the programs that's working on the prison to employment services. And so many people being released early from custody, that's a very important service that we're providing so that we can help people engage in positive activities during this period of time. We also do the online classes and other training programs. We work with partners. We have an adult high school, alternative high school on site. Right now they're doing classes virtually, and as well as a class for adults. We can go to the next slide. So those are some of the services that we offer to our job seekers, but we also offer services to employers. And so we do subsidized employment for CalWorks participants, which means that we could cover the salary of an employee for up to 6 months for an eligible job classification. And I think that would be really important for employers, especially right now, to be able to take advantage of that service. We do job fairs, as Cassandra indicated. We are working on converting those to virtual because we're used to doing the old-fashioned everyone comes out and we can do hiring on the spot. So we are working on changing that and obviously doing some training seminars. We do services, employment services for youth. We participated in the Mayor's 1,000 Strong program, helping young high school students get into jobs, as well as the out-of-school youth program for disadvantaged young people, either getting them back into school or helping them if they've graduated from school but maybe aren't quite sure what they want to do, providing them with some career exploration internships where they can look at other opportunities, and hopefully that'll lead them into a career pathway. As well as providing opportunities for them to do some community service as well. We can go to the next slide. Beyond we can go to the next slide. Beyond the employment services, so we offer the same robust services that many of the job centers that were listed on the first page will offer. One of the unique things about like the Urban League and La Familia is that we provide other supportive services to really address the whole needs of the community. And so La Familia is one of the 9 family resource centers here in Sacramento. We offer the Birth and Beyond program, which assists with home visitation, crisis intervention, domestic violence, early learners. We know that right now our families are experiencing a lot of stress. And so we also offer, we're a mental health provider for children's as well as some adult services, and we do suicide prevention. Again, you know, with the economic downturn, we are getting a lot of calls for those supportive services. We do health education and Medi-Cal enrollment, senior services. And again, in addition to the employment services for youth, we also do youth development through pop-ups and programs for at-risk youth, as well as financial literacy, tax preparation, and we are also promoting the census. So we want to make sure that we say that we are really encouraging everyone to be a part of the census. One of our newest projects is that we are in the process of building out a new center called the Opportunity Center, which will be provide us the opportunity to have more training programs as well as small business development, which again, right now with everything going on with COVID is really important. During this COVID time, we are providing food distribution, summer lunches for young people, as well as we'll be doing food distribution and other supportive services. So again, you know, as part of our Career Center services and our extended services, we want to help our community get back into the workforce. We know that they're anxious to get jobs. We know that some businesses might not recover, and so we want to be able to teach them some new job skills and connect them to the jobs that do exist. displaced. And then we want to help our businesses as well reopen so that we can provide them with trained employees and also help them with the subsidized employment. So again, we want to help our communities not just survive through this crisis, but to be able to thrive.
Great, thank you, Ms. Rios. So let's now take questions from our viewers today. To start us off, presenters, since the onset of COVID-19, how has your organizations adapted to serving Sacramento's job seekers during this crisis? I don't know who wants to take that one first.
Well, I can go ahead and start. Well, Cassandra unmutes there. Early on, we realized we actually, right before the county put the stay in place order, we closed our office for a day, recognized things were changing rapidly, and we said we need to change our operations. How can we do this and still be a service to the community? And that's when we changed our hours. So prior to this, La Familia was one of the career centers that was open till 8 o'clock at night, at least 2 nights a week. And so we obviously had to change our hours, modify that so that we could protect our employees and provide a more secure place for the community members. And so we continued to keep our doors open. We felt that, I think as Roy mentioned, so many employees are coming in looking for assistance in applying for unemployment benefits. The applications were complicated, the county agencies were closed, and so they really needed to rely on partners like Urban League and La Familia and the others to be able to help them through that. So I think we had to quickly modify to a virtual platform, doing case management by phone, having Zoom accounts for people, and really just moving very quickly to be able to meet the needs of our community members as well as our employers.
Yeah, and I would say the only thing that I would want to add to that, in addition, we had to put out some of our documents online that were fillable, which usually we're used to just sitting down and working people through it. So the whole virtual world, we had to adapt very quickly. And I applaud La Familia for staying open right away or closing one day. It took us a couple of weeks to figure that out, but because it was so important, we wanted to make sure that we do it. And so now even one-on-ones we're doing with Zoom and virtual, because we realize the importance of the relationship and the trust and the going back and forth, even if we can't be physically together. And then I think the other thing is that we've expanded sort of our thinking, because whereas we were serving some of those that were in sort of the high demand jobs or that were employed, now we're having to think of different kinds of pathways to help people who were in careers for quite a while, who now find themselves, oh, now what do I do now that my business is closed or I'm no longer employed with a certain entity?
Great, thank you.
Yeah, I would agree with everything both Rachel and Cassandra have said. The only thing I would add is we've implemented some different, more electronic intake processes, system-wide, and we've added additional financial resources into the system for customers that really need it. That they're not UI, they're specifically people who need additional supports to participate in employment or training type activities. Those are just a couple, we've embraced, we're looking at other ways where we can be more efficient and more electronic and still connect people to services under the current environment, like the online training platform I talked about.
Okay, great. Thank you, Roy. And to all the viewers, just want to remind everyone to please submit their questions through your Zoom toolbar. We are open to all questions and comments and feedback through your Zoom toolbar. I have another question for the presenters. How do businesses or companies that are currently hiring connect to the dislocated workers or job seekers that your organizations are working with?
Well, I'll start by saying that's what we do. So first of all, with the employers, we have job developers that are establishing relationships with employers and the jobs that are available. And then what we do is work with our job seekers and those who come in to get them prepared, and then to see if they're interested in those kind of careers. So then it's sort of like the perfect match, right? And so what we're doing now is identifying, and that's when we're going to go to our hiring event, is like we used to do when we could do it face to face, is that they would come and then we would notify, we would send out, and then we would have interviews. And the companies would come and they would actually make hires on the spot. And so now that's what we want to do virtually. We're doing it one-on-one and we're connecting and referring, but now we can do it virtually, where that we can connect the employer with a number of job seekers. And we're getting information every day about jobs that are available and what kinds of skills they're looking for. And then we're looking ahead in the horizon to see what's about to come down, like those contact tracers, for example.
Great, thank you.
And I would just add, that's exactly, you know, we've had long-term relationships with a lot of employers in the area. And so just asking them, you know, working with them, finding out what they're looking for in candidates. And because we have so many community members that come here, matching their skills. The other thing is it's a great opportunity for those that are unemployed to build upon their skills, to sharpen that saw and to build on their skills so that they are more employable. And so working together to make those matches, and then also working with our community colleges. You know, Cassandra mentioned the contact tracers. We are working on trying to create a community health worker program. That Urban League did one last year, and La Familia wants to host one this year, so that we can create career pathways for those health professions that we know are so critically needed now. And that could be also the contact tracers to address this. So we would be, you know, addressing this kind of getting people employed by creating career pathways and, you know, actually helping our communities. So just having those relationships. I think she mentioned something too that I think is really important, and that's trust. Given that we have been out in the community working, our employers trust us, our community members trust us. This is you know, very unprecedented times, and so they want to go to organizations that they feel comfortable, that whether it's on a virtual platform or in person, they know they're going to get that kind of service that they're used to getting.
Great, thank you, Rachel.
And just a systemic thing I'd add. So SETA also has a centralized business services team that works closely with job centers. First of all, I worked with employers that are laying off a large like mass layoffs to help connect those laid off workers with resources, but it also works with different job centers to put together more customized large-scale recruitments and really help connect individuals who are being laid off with employers who are actually hiring for similar types of skill sets.
Great, thank you, Roy. We have a couple of questions that just came in from Jason. What are the sectors and jobs where you still see demand, and what training and skills are needed for those jobs? Anybody want to take that question?
Well, right off the bat, you know that the grocery stores, the pharmacy, the Amazons, the banks are still, those jobs are still, they're hiring, they're hurting. And then, so those are the ones that are easy. I would say that, and then obviously there's some that need more skills. I would say what we say for everybody is to brush up on your computer skills. So whatever kind of job is, technology, computers are here to stay and moving us forward. And so we encourage everybody, whatever level they think they are, is to brush up on the computer skills right off the bat.
And I would agree with Cassandra. Basically, any essential business that is still open is hiring. As they either lost employees. So when you look at who's open and who's doing business right now, you know, as she indicated, the delivery systems, the grocery stores, you know, all of the businesses that are open, even insurance agencies, some financial agencies are all hiring, and also technology. And then lastly, you know, as we touched about earlier, health, you know, looking at health, this issue needs to be looked at from a community health lens. And so that is something that I think as we go forward will be something that we'll be seeing a lot more industry recognizing the importance of community health workers, contact tracers, you know, in our communities to help us address this pandemic.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, and if I could say, we're planning and hiring an event with FedEx. So they're definitely hiring, and call us if you want to get on that train. And I will say about health, what all of this COVID has said to us, and we have HealthNet as a partner, and they're located in our building, is that our communities need to get healthier, because the disparities among Brown and Black people and low-income communities is still evident even in this COVID. And part of it says that as we come out of this, that we need to get healthier. And so I think the health industry is going to be huge. And it's not always about seeing the doctor. It's about doing what we need to do so we don't have to go to see. Well, we just do preventive things. So that's my commercial.
Yeah, I support that 100%. Health happens in the community, as we know from this, you know, pandemic. Health happens in the community, and that's where the solutions will be.
So true. So true. Roy, did you want to add anything to that question?
So I just, for more, again, so more of a systemic response, I guess. Just so the job centers are all interconnected using a shared electronic system and a shared job posting system as well. And so we all see jobs, even in today's environment, across a number of different industry sectors, and even some that would make you kind of think twice that you wouldn't necessarily think is true. So we see that on a daily basis. And so if there are people who think that there are not jobs out there, there are certainly fewer of them. That's indisputable, but there are still jobs there. And so people who really want to get back to work quickly, call us. That's what we're here for.
Great, thank you. We have time for one last question. William posed, how does your organizations partner with nonprofit organizations that have similar audiences? That have similar audiences for the services you provide?
Sure. Well, I can start. So part of our model at our Maple Neighborhood Center is that we actually bring other nonprofits to be housed with us. So we work together, recognizing that one agency can't do all the work themselves. And so bringing in experts from different organizations, whether it's training or whether it's literacy or whatever other services, what our community needs, bringing those partners together. And so we have longstanding partnerships and relationships with many organizations, whatever we can do to support the community and make referrals as well.
Great, thank you.
Right, and we have partners right in our building, and we can't do it alone. And I think that's part of the network that SETA has created with the 12 job centers rather than one. And then we partner with other nonprofits in neighborhoods that we work, or specific. So whether it's in Oak Park or Del Paso Heights, there are people and organizations and entities that are doing great work. And so I think together we all can lift up our community. So partnership is definitely the name of the game.
Great, thank you.
And again, if I can just add from more of a system-wide perspective, you know, if you see La Familia and Urban League on the call, great examples of some major nonprofits that we do partner with. And throughout the Job Center network, it is a collaboration across a whole bunch of different nonprofits. People may not realize this, but SETA only hosts 2 of the 12 job centers, and the rest are operated by either school districts or nonprofit organizations or other partners. And so it really is truly a collaborative effort, and we couldn't do it without we couldn't connect with the communities that we want to connect with without the partnerships with the nonprofit organizations.
Excellent point. Thank you, Roy. Well, that concludes today's webinar. I want to give a huge thank you to all our viewers today and our exceptional speakers from SETA, the Greater Sacramento Urban League, and La Familia Counseling Center. We greatly appreciate all of the incredible work, the necessary resources and services that you are all providing through your organizations to our most in need job seekers throughout Sacramento. Also, a tremendous thank you to my colleagues in the Office of Innovation and Economic Development, especially Darren Gale, Lori Clark, and Abraham Salinas for all of their extraordinary support and hard work making our departmental webinars happen regularly. Also, a huge thank you to our community engagement team for the additional support with outreach. As Darren stated in the beginning of the webinar, please check out our link for future webinars and resources. And thank you all again for your participation, and we hope to see you in our next webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you.